All right. Yo, what's up, people? What's happening? Welcome to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. It's your boy, IFBB PRO. And today we're going to be talking about how to biohack your body, how to biohack your genetics without steroids, or at least the way that I've done it and the way that I tell my best clients how to do it. Okay. We're going to be focusing mainly on talking about testosterone levels today, how to uphold them, how to maintain them naturally, or how to improve them naturally. Again, we're not going to be talking about how to take steroids or the effects of steroids, the side effects of steroids, because I'm pretty sure most of you are pretty well versed on that, or at least have a solid idea as to why you are or aren't taking them, right? So we're not going to dive too deep into that Pandora's box, but what we are going to talk about today is how to increase your natural testosterone in order to biohack your body, in order to get the best out of your fitness journey. All right. So if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay down in the comments below. Wherever you're watching this on, let me know that you're tuning in. Also, share this out to a friend that you know might need to hear this message and might benefit from this today. All right. So we're pretty much rolling on every other social media platform. What we're going to be doing today is talking about what I just mentioned. And again, I'm going to let you know if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if there's anything that you really want to talk about when it comes to, this specific topic or anything related to health and fitness as it pertains to this topic, you are more than welcome to drop your comments. And at the very end, if you're still around, if I'm still around, I will do my very best to answer all your questions. Okay. And that's only because, again, you're here live. You don't have to be, but you tune in. So take advantage of the resource and ask away if you've got any legitimate questions. Okay. So, with that said, with that out the way, we'll be diving into today's podcast episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yo, what's good, meatheads? Hope you are having an amazing day, and welcome to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. It's your boy, the returning champion, IFBB Pro, Matt Butale, coming at you with another topic. And today we'll be talking about, I'll be breaking down 4 simple, at home, easy, super simple steps that you can implement today if you want to biohack, quote unquote, your body and essentially create more natural testosterone, or at least to maintain the level of natural testosterone that you do have so it doesn't dip down, in order to put on more muscle, burn more fat, and also continue to make progress throughout your journey and keep the progress. All right. And this is specifically for men here. Okay. This episode today is specifically for men. If you have low testosterone, you're going to want to tune into this. If you don't know your testosterone levels, stick around, stay tuned. I'll tell you how to find out about that. Okay. But today we are going to be talking about how to biohack your body, how to get results out of your body in the most optimal way possible. And when I'm speaking about results, I'm speaking of putting on as much muscle tissue and reducing as much fat as possible by sort of leveraging foods or techniques to get your body to essentially produce or to maintain its levels of testosterone naturally, again, without steroids. Okay, so we're going to be breaking down into this. Again, if you are listening to the replay on the live stream, more than welcome to tune in the comments and say hashtag I'm here or just hashtag replay. Let me know what's going down with that if you're here to pay attention at a later date. All right, because again, I'll still answer your questions if you got your questions. Okay, so let's break it down. Let's dive right into the meat and potatoes, guys. Let's break it down. Okay, so the first thing I want to tell you guys, especially you young guys growing up, and even the older folks that time may have passed on you and you weren't really active in your youth, is that your genetics aren't a death sentence. Okay, your genetics aren't a death sentence. What do I mean by that? Well, when I say your genetics aren't a death sentence, I'm talking about the fact that you may not naturally or genetically speaking have big arms or a big chest, or maybe you've got a big rib cage and it's not aesthetically pleasing to you, or whatever it is. And genetics, again, as I talked about in several episodes, it spans over a wide variety of things when it comes to having favorable genetics, quote unquote. Because favorable genetics for running might be being skinnier, having longer limbs, so on and so forth. Whereas for bodybuilding, it's pretty much the opposite. You want shorter limbs. You almost kind of want to be shorter, so you have shorter muscle bellies, and you can fill out your frame easier, so on and so forth. But I'm aware, at least that in this episode, we will be talking about the aesthetics as it pertains to, or genetics as it pertains to aesthetics, right? The way you look, the way everything sort of ties together, your ability to put on lean muscle, your ability to drop fat, things of that sort. Okay, so we're going to be focusing on that. And by that, I'm saying your genetics aren't a death sentence. The way that you are born isn't the way that you're going to die. and you can still make the very best out of the genetics that you've got. And I guess an example, I mean, I would say that I do have kind of like favorable genetics for bodybuilding, but it doesn't mean that other historical bodybuilders, super successful bodybuilders, didn't have, genetic, we'll say, I don't want to say inferiorities, but they weren't as genetically gifted as those that they may have competed against. Like, for example, if you're aware of bodybuilding and Jay Cutler and Ronnie Coleman, easily known to be one of the most fucking genetically gifted bodybuilders of all time, and was also beaten by Jay Cutler, who, yes, was also genetically gifted. That's not even negotiable. But was he as genetically gifted as Ronnie? Most would say no, right? Just based off of the way his frame was and the way he put on muscle, so on and so forth. But the whole point is that you can create an aesthetic, appealing, desirable physique regardless of your genetics. As I said, because genetics is like it's a very broad sort of spectrum here. It depends on what you want to, uh, what genetics or what genetic range, or um, we'll say category that you fit into. If you want to be genetically superior in running or swimming or bodybuilding or soccer or whatever it is. But as I said, we're talking about aesthetics here. And if you're looking at that and you think, fuck, I don't have good genetics, or like, my bicep looks weird when I flex it, I have this weird muscle insertion on my lats, maybe my lats are too high, or this, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, because you can still create an amazing physique out of that. Okay, so your genetics are not a death sentence, and biohacking is real. And today I'll show you 4 simple steps that you can, like, literally take from this episode and apply it at home in your life today for like free, okay? That will help you maintain, and if not increase, your natural testosterone production, so that you can have the ability to put on more muscle and in turn reduce the amount of fat that you've got on your body, and also get more aesthetic in the process, okay? So, yes, we already talked about it. Your genetics are limited, in the sense that, like, you can't change immutable factors about your body, right? Like muscles insertions. Like, as I said, some people when they flex, like, for example, if you're following bodybuilding and you are aware of like Chris Bumstead, for example, right? Like, he's got really, really short bicep insertions. So his arm is like fully extended. Just imagine this, if you're listening to this, if your arm is fully extended, he looks at his arm, his bicep, it's like it starts halfway down his arm, right? Whereas like Arnold, for example, his bicep would have started at the joint for his elbow, right? And that's like a longer muscle insertion. Is it favorable for most people? Yeah, but you can still look fucking amazing with a short head bicep or a short bicep insertion. And this applies with chest, this applies with shoulders, this applies with back, legs even, right? So there is no like one type of only aesthetic insertion, right? You can make pretty much anything look aesthetic if you pose it a certain way and if you train it in a certain way. Let's be honest, right? So your genetics are limited, when it comes to the insertions. I will say that, right? You got some hereditary traits that you couldn't change, even if your life depended on it. Even if you did surgery, it still wouldn't change. And also, let's not forget the genetic component behind weight gain and weight loss advantages or disadvantages, right? Those things are also things you can factor in when it comes to the pluses and minuses of quote unquote good or bad genetics, right? But even those things aren't a death sentence. Even though you can't change them, they don't really matter, because you can always work with or around them to get that desired outcome, to get that physique that you want. Okay? Seriously. All right? And it's no means, like, by no means is it a legitimate excuse for you essentially not becoming an absolute shredded monster or just more fit. Because again, as I said, there are, if you look amongst the genetically elite in bodybuilding and then you strip them down 20 years to like their teen years, you would be able to look at all of them and see who like really was genetically gifted and who really had to bust their ass to look half as good, right? So you might have to work double as hard, but the opportunity is still there, right? And you can definitely seize the moment should you have that mindset. Okay. So let's break it down. Let's talk about these 4 simple steps that you could do at home that will help you boost your natural testosterone levels or keep your natural testosterone levels. And guys and girls, I did say at the beginning of this episode, I'll also talk about how to sort of figure out your hormone levels, your testosterone levels. Very simple. It's not a long explanation. Just go to your doctor and request your general checkup with a full blood panel, urinalysis, all that. and make sure that you check off the SHGB section on that sheet so that you can get your hormone readings and all that stuff. That's how it works here in Canada. But if you're in the States and it works differently, or anywhere else in the world, SHBG, look at that. Okay, pay attention to that, because once you get that information recorded, you'll know basically how many nanograms per deciliter you're producing, right, for testosterone and other hormones, right? And just to see how overall your body is. Again, I recommend you do general checkups at least 3 to 4 times per year, quarterly, or every 4 months, right? So definitely break that down, figure out your numbers so that you know where you are. And then, of course, the more information you have, the more you can help yourself. Or if you have a coach, the more your coach can help you if you provide that information to them. Okay, so with that out the way, let's talk about these 4 things. Okay, so the first thing that I want to bring to your attention that will help you boost your natural testosterone, or at least maintain it, is number 1, eat more healthy fats. Eat more healthy fats. First of all, what the fuck is a healthy fat? You're thinking about, like, okay, well, fat is what I want to get rid of. I want to burn fat. Why the fuck am I putting it in my mouth? Right? And to that, I'll say this: healthy fats are good fats. They come from, eggs, the yolks. They come from salmon. You got your omegas there, your 3s and 9s from the fish and things like that. And you can get them from almonds too. But again, if you're on a deficit, I really wouldn't recommend snacking with almonds, simply because they're really, 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 really high in calories, and it's very easy to go over your caloric requirements if you do decide to snack with them. But these are healthy fats. Okay. These are healthy fats. The unhealthy fats, the ones that you're well aware of, are like the trans fats, the saturated fats, the ones that come in all the candy and all the junk shit that you eat, right? And so eating more healthy fat helps. It's been proven to help you build more muscle. It's ironic. It's very fucking ironic, but it is true. Okay? It is true. You can get these healthy fats from, avocados, nuts, eggs, fish, olive oil, whatever, but they will help increase your testosterone levels. Okay? You do need to consume healthy fats in order to actually produce testosterone, right? It's a part of the process. So without long explanation, number 1, you have to incorporate healthy fats into your diet. And how many grams of fat per se? It depends on everybody. Okay, it really depends on everybody, where you are in your fitness journey, so on and so forth. That is a number that will only pertain to you. Similarly to the amount of macros, we'll say protein and carbs, because fat is also a macro, and also respectively the calories. Okay, the calories that you'll intake, it's all going to be tailored to yourself, or at least should be, for a specific result that your body can produce. Okay, so number 1, and it's absolutely free unless you don't have any avocados, nuts, egg, fish oil, all that stuff in your crib, is to eat more healthy fats. It will help you produce more natural testosterone. No long talking. Okay, number 2, get enough vitamin D. Don't just get vitamin D, but get enough vitamin D. And again, this sort of ties into what I was saying earlier about going every, going quarterly, or going every 3 months, or every 4 months, to go to the doctor and like check on your body, your analysis, blood work, all that stuff. And why? Well, you want to see what either are, deficient in, or what you could top up with, right? In terms of what's going on in your body, the micronutrients or lack thereof. You can definitely supplement with foods, with certain supplements, with whatever it is, to get your body to, we'll say, regulate at a certain level that will help you perform optimally in the gym, and just like help your body function as it should. And not getting enough micronutrients, not getting enough vitamins, is actually part of the reason why most people actually struggle to change their body and don't even know it, because they don't even do their blood work. All right, so get enough vitamin D, and you'll know what enough is, because if you do your tests and you're on top of that, right, then you'll know what you are efficient, like what you're deficient in. And if you're deficient in vitamin D by X, Y, and Z amount, then you know to take X, Y, and Z amount daily, right, until everything's is sort of balanced off. And it doesn't have to be through a tab, a supplement tab, or a liquid, right? Vitamin D is crucial for testosterone production. All right, you don't have to have it through a pill, right? You can definitely go outside and just sit in the sun. But if wherever you are, there is no sun, or if you aren't willing to spend more time in the sun, definitely the other option would be the supplements. But I would always, always, always recommend, absolutely, the natural way, as opposed to the more convenient way, right? For obvious reasons. Okay, so vitamin D is crucial for testosterone production, and you can get vitamin D from sun exposure. We already know that. Okay, Or you could get it through foods, which I would also recommend is also another natural method, another natural way. Such as like salmon, for example, which also serves as a healthy fat. So that's a two birds with one stone there. Or certain dairy products. Okay, certain dairy products do have vitamin D, and right, you really need, especially as a man, to get your vitamin D in. Okay, vitamin D, get your healthy fats. Okay, so number one, healthy fats. Number two, vitamin D. Number three, and this one is something that your mom fucking told you, or your dad told you, or both of your parents told you as you were growing up. And this one, we have to literally, like, I think this would be the most important. Literally, this is the most important out of all of them. Depending on what you might struggle with, but this is definitely the most important. And this, guys and girls, number three is get enough sleep, especially you guys. Get enough sleep. I know you're hustling. I know you're working. You got to be up early. I understand it, but go to bed early. Like literally get your sleep 7 to 9 hours, even 6 to 9 hours. And I'm not even recommending six, but like if that's what like literally the best you can do, then six is the best you can do, right? But generally between 7 to 9 hours is like you need that. Why? Well, rest and recovery is amazing. Let's again, without long talking, without getting super sciencey here, look at what happens when you sleep, especially during REM, like deep sleep. Your body's secreting hormones. It's repairing things. It's doing the most that it'll ever do while you're, alive. When it comes to growing your body, healing your body, or just propelling it in the direction to be healthier in the future or to be just alive tomorrow, right? Your body's is secreting growth hormone. It's secreting all the the hormones that you need in order just to function. And if you put yourself in a desirable and an optimal state, like you're training, you're eating well, and you're getting good rest, literally you would grow a lot more muscle tissue than you could even fathom. Okay, because you'd really be taking advantage of the natural GH that your body is producing and also the other hormones that your body will be producing with quality sleep consistently on a consistent basis. And let's look at this, right? Um, if you get less sleep and or you get good enough sleep, but you're always stressed, like someone's always, your wife's always nagging you, or you're just not happy in your life, that stress and that lack of sleep can or usually does result in the overproduction of a hormone called cortisol. And see, cortisol, I don't know if you've heard of it. If you have, awesome. If you haven't, I'll break it down real quick. It's a hormone you don't want to produce a lot of, right? It's literally the stress hormone. Once you produce it, it becomes very hard, not very hard, but it becomes a lot more difficult for you to drop body fat. It becomes a lot more difficult for you to put on more muscle tissue, and a lot more difficult for you to drop water weight and things of that sort, because this hormone retains all that stuff, and it's always in response to stress or lack of proper recovery and or rest. Cortisol, it's the enemy. We don't want to produce cortisol. So how do we manage that? How do we control that? Get good rest. Get enough sleep. Okay, don't give a fuck how tough you think you are. You'll be tougher if you sleep a little longer. 7 to 9 hours, point blank, period. I think it's the most important thing in the entire list. Okay, and the last thing, number four, out of all these four steps that will help you maintain and, if not boost, your natural testosterone. Again, I'm going to recap. One was eat more healthy fats. Two is get enough vitamin D. Three is get enough sleep, as we just spoke about. And four, this one is going to be we'll say, the straw that broke the camel's back, metaphorically speaking, but is to limit your alcohol consumption. Fuck's sake. And that hurts. I know. Yeah, because even for me, I got to say that too. This is a message even to me, right? What I'm telling you right now, these four steps, these are things that I do and try my best to maintain, or at least to be as consistent as possible. Not perfect, I'll tell you that much. But limiting your alcohol consumption is fucking crucial, especially if you're an avid alcohol. I don't want to say alcoholic, but if you drink a lot, if you drink at least more than on Friday and Saturday, okay, you've got to limit your alcohol consumption. Okay, and as I said, this is probably the hardest one for us to actually control. Okay, getting plastered from time to time is fun. I'll give you that, but it will keep you, essentially fat and full of estrogen. Estrogen, if you didn't know, is the opposite of testosterone. It's the female hormone. Okay, and you don't want that, because then we go down the rabbit hole of potentially developing bitch tits, even having more cortisol, things of that sort. It's really not. You don't want it. It's not desirable, and of course, you don't want it, which is why you're even listening to this shit. Okay, so I want to remind you, it's fun to get plastered, but you have to limit your alcohol consumption, because excessive alcohol intake has been linked for several years, and you know this already without me having to tell you, not only to diseases and other problems, but it's also been linked to decreased testosterone levels. And this is not science. This has been true forever. Okay. It's why, and literally think of it. And if this is you, no offense, brother. All right. My dude, homie, brother, yo, no offense to you, man. But if this is you, you know why it is. Okay. So it's the reason why beer drinkers literally have hefty man boobs and like this super solid beer baby in their gut. Like it's like look at they're packing all that visceral fat on that fat on the front of their stomach. And the more fat that you've got on your body, the worse it is for your overall testosterone levels. When it's like overall, when you have more fat than muscle, right? When it's just like you have too much fat, right? And then it starts to morph into certain, shapes and you look like you're melting depending on how you carry the fat. But again, you don't want to look like Homer Simpson, which is the reason why you're listening to this. And limiting your alcohol consumption, especially if it's beer, is one of the, I think, personally crucial ways, the most crucial ways to maintain, if not increase, your natural production of testosterone. Seriously. It's like the first thing, the cheapest thing, and the easiest thing we can fuck. It's not even the cheapest thing. It will save you money if you limit alcohol consumption, and then you can buy supplements with that money that you've saved to, push yourself forward. And I'm not saying never drink alcohol again. I'm saying literally limit it. So whatever you're drinking right now that you think is normal, cut it in half. And if you think that you can't really live with that, no insults or no offense, you should probably get help. Because anything that you depend on, I mean, including even caffeine. Like if you cannot live without a certain thing for a certain period of time, or if you cannot reduce the consumption of it without feeling extreme pain, then that's really signs of an addiction. And that I swear to God, I'm not joking. Literally reach out for help. All right, because you should be able to limit your alcohol consumption, and if you can't, that's a red flag, and you can definitely look at that, hawk it down, make that a goal of yours to make sure that you are in full control of your body and that no other substances. Okay. Again, guys and girls, especially you men, because I'm talking to you men today. Right. This is about tests. We're talking about biohacking your genetics here. Women don't really give a fuck about that. Most of them don't, actually. Okay. Doing these 4 things is an easy way to biohack your genetics to help you gain more confidence, strength, and muscle, essentially, and also will improve your performance in bed. For those of you guys that actually give a shit, that get laid or whatever. But again, this is the funniest thing of all. Out of all these 4 things, I didn't necessarily bring up the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is, you notice, we talked about all these 4 simple things that you can do pretty much for free and or save you money, but we didn't talk about working out. Why didn't I speak about working out if we're talking about biohacking your genetics? If we're talking about getting the most muscle that you could possibly get out of your physique, why did I not mention working out? Like, isn't that like a part of it? Well, the reason why I didn't mention it is because it's already a non-fucking negotiable if you're even looking to biohack your genetics. Okay? Like, if you're serious, if biohacking even exists in your fucking vocabulary, right? It's because you already are training and you know that there's a threshold that you might not be able to achieve, but you know is possible, and you want to do whatever it takes in order to get that advantage. And for some people, that means even taking steroids, right? So that you can get that desired outcome, that desired physique that you want. And my intention in today's episode, and I believe that you would agree, is that I'm telling you how to do this without steroids because you don't need them. Nobody really needs steroids. Even the people that compete don't need them, right? They want them because they don't want to lose. You don't like need to win, right? I mean, unless you need that money to like do stuff with it. But like if you're competing for money as a bodybuilder, you are properly a crackhead because there's why are you doing that? You should be competing because you love it, because this shit does not pay. Okay. Seriously. And I'm not saying that to demotivate you if you want to be a bodybuilder. Like, no, knock yourself out. I support you. Be a bodybuilder, right? But don't make it your life. Like, don't make everything revolve around that, because literally you're going to hit a certain age and then you're just not going to be able to look as good. So it really doesn't matter. It's like have fun while you're having fun, and then live that lifestyle of always, pumping iron, being healthy, things like that. That's cool. But don't think you're going to be looking 20 forever unless you want to take trend forever. And then there is no forever for you, because 50 is as old as you'll get. So anyway, and that's why we didn't talk about working out, because it's non-negotiable. It's what you should already be doing if you're already listening to this specific episode. Okay. Because if you just didn't imagine this, you didn't work out or anything like that, you apply these 4 steps, yes, you would see some things benefit you in your favor, like absolutely. But if you're not training, you are not maximizing, you are not capitalizing on everything, which you should do if you care about biohacking your body, taking advantage of your genetics, and getting the absolute best out of your physique. Okay? That's it. That's all. Become the man God designed you to be. Flip the switch and start producing more natural testosterone. It's not impossible. Should I do it? And I help my best clients do it too. All right. So take these 4 steps, these 4 tips to heart. You can apply it right now, literally right after listening to this, or even while you're listening to this, because again, it's inexpensive. It's almost free, and it will guarantee that you perform better in the gym, in bed, that you look better, generally, that you're able to be a little healthier as a man, so on and so forth. I couldn't list every single benefit, okay, but you might feel it. All right, that's it. That's all. If you like this episode, share it out with a friend. I hope I was able to deliver a valuable experience to you guys today. Also, I want to let you know, if you want to lose 25 pounds or more and also learn a little bit more tricks to biohack your physique, your genetics, in order to get more desirable results, building more muscle while also dropping and keeping the fat off, hit me up, shoot me a DM on any social media platform, and I'll see if I can help you out. I'll see if you'd be a good fit. All right. Let's embrace your inner meathead together. It's been nice chatting. Hope you like what today's topic was about. IFBB PRO Matt Butale signing out. Boom. All right. Podcast is recorded. I'm going to look at some of the comments here, and then we're going to go on about my life. Hope you guys are chilling. David, what's good? Tyson, Charlie, I see you. Again, if you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay down in the comments below. I want to know that you're watching. Ben, what's good? Derek, Roscoe. It's been a minute, Roscoe. Hope everything's cool. Jordan, thanks for tuning in. Yoshi, my guy. What's up? What's up? What's up? Tyson, what's good? Tyson says, laziness and procrastination is the only death sentence. Hard work and proper knowledge perseveres. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you're definitely a testament to that. 100%, bro. Absolutely, dog. So Sean the trainer, shout out to you. Add Bowen _ what's good? Appreciate you for tuning in. Nick, Priyan, Flavio, what's up? George, thanks for tuning in. Lindsay Elizabeth, what's up? Hey, what's good? Timely, thanks, Matt. David, my dude, I fucking appreciate you, man. I really do. I hope you're having an amazing shift right now. Leroy, thanks for tuning in. Pinder, what's up? Unky in the house. Shout out Uncle John. What's good? My G. Milk Money says, hey, man, I think Trudeau is doing a pretty good job. Do you agree? I'm not talking about politics today. We ain't doing that. TikTok, please be real today. Be serious. Grow up. Be for real, man. Strawberry says, how to increase vertical jump? That's actually, I guess, is fitness related, so I'll answer it. I've never played ball or anything where the vertical, matters. But I know I got a couple friends. Uncle John, tell me, how do you bring up your vertical jump? How do you increase your vertical? Tell me so I can tell this homie on TikTok and give him a little bit of something. Because we got a ball player over here who's dropping 62s and making people want to quit their entire basketball career. So you got to tell us, Uncle John, how do you increase your vertical so that I can tell this guy on TikTok? Okay. Man for Life says, I want to grow my hair. Okay, grow your hair, bro. And if the thing was like testosterone you're talking about and like it's relating to like the whole thing there, then like definitely again, it's genetics, right? And if you can't grow it, don't cry about it. I mean, you'll cry about it, but it's whatever. But yeah, buddy, there, I don't know how to answer your question. Don't know how to increase your vertical, but I understand theoretically that it might be, get your legs stronger and practice jumping. Oh, he says, I got you. Hold up. All right, bet. Yeah, hit me up with that, Unky. I'm going to show homie right now real quick. Big Bear says, who's winning the Super Bowl? Don't know. I haven't watched football consistently since like 2012. I'll be honest with you. I don't know why. I think it was just like my friends moved. My friends that I had that I always watched football with, they moved. So yeah, I stopped paying attention to that there. Yeah. Let me know how your day is going, guys. If you've got any questions relating to biohacking, genetics, in terms of, putting on more muscle, looking more aesthetic, getting more shredded. If you've got any questions, hit me up. I'm here for the next 2 minutes. All right.